Welcome. This is the best of Freethinkers Radio. I'm David Pendergrass, but that don't really matter. What we're here to do is to educate, entertain, and inform and empower you. We bring together a diverse group of people from different backgrounds, different political stances, different cultural backgrounds. We bring all of us together because sometimes we don't realize how much another person knows. You feel me? So you bring all of us together and we actually come up with a bigger idea, a bigger concept, and a way to actually make the world a better place. I hope y'all enjoy this. Today we're talking about the Affordable Care Act. We brought Antjuan Seawright from Sunrise Communications. We brought the amazing Cynthia Hardy from On Point with Cynthia Hardy. We brought Kadenia Javis from Javis Tax Service and York Glover from Prime America today. And they're going to come in with the crew and we're going to chop this up. And we're gonna know why is the Affordable Act necessary, what actually is it, and what actually is Obamacare. Stay tuned. Welcome. This is Freethinkers Radio Show 46. We're talking about the Affordable Care Act today. We've got Beth Wicked. Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how are you guys?
James. And our great panel of guests, with one on the way actually. We've got guests on top of guests here. We've got the Honorable Antjuan Seawright.
Happy Monday, everybody.
And York Glover repping Prime America hard to the...
Good evening.
And from On Point with Cynthia Hardy, we have...
Cynthia Hardy.
There it is.
I'm happy to be here, too.
Absolutely.
So glad you guys are here.
On the way is the Javis Tax Service will be here also, because we are going to talk about the Affordable Care Act in every way, shape, or form to make sure everybody knows what they need to do, what they don't need to do, what they need to stand for, what they need to defend.
Dave's looking at me like,
there's a lot going on here.
Because when you're informed, you're empowered.
That's it.
There you go.
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
I feel right at home.
Freethinkers Radio. Feel free to think freely.
Yup, that's a sorrow beat.
Max Million.
You see, I started as a church boy. Always had that hope, boy. No worries about my life, cause I stayed with that joy. This world I wasn't ready for. Imagine that. At 13, hit the ground running fast, shawty in my lap. What you know about that? Hoes getting deeper, sin getting stronger. Wasn't too long before I take the marijuana. Drinks in my hand, boy, I'm looking like a stunner. Stop, hold up, death in my lap, my grave. Thugger, not worry about that, my father showed up and put me on track. For God I run, let me tell you about that, How he changed my life, made it all alright. Now I smile on Instagram. Had to beat that twice, but he kept me alive with an open hand. Now I feel like $100 grand. Let me tell you about the man that died on Calvary and pulled me out that pig pen. So that's where my sin is. I dug a hole for myself, that's where I'm living. I need forgiveness, Father give me the business. So much pain in my life, can you remove it? Remove this pig pen, set me free, sorry Lord, won't you come get me? Cause I don't wanna die this way, and I don't wanna die in this place. I need your love, shower me with your grace for this beat. I need victory in my misery, cause in my misery I find evidence where I don't repent of everything I used to be. So I keep on following the same steps. Like I curse him and I praise him in the same breath. Seems to be different, but I keep on following the same scene. It's a problem that I can't help myself. That's why I need you, cause I don't always pray when I need to. I got my own self in this pig pen. Look at the slop like it's supposed to feed who? Not me. Oh no, there's gotta be something that's better than this. I know that my father got mentions, his service gets better, so I'll be a servant in his. But what is this gift I done received? When I return home, it's hard to believe that the same father that I have rejected and cursed restored to me all that I need. Like Lord I receive, and your love is just second to none. Cause even after all that I have done, you still wanna call me your son. That's crazy. So that's where my sin is. I dug a hole for myself, that's where I'm living. I need forgiveness, Father give me the business. So much pain in my life, can you remove it? Remove this pig pen, set me free, sorry Lord, won't you come get me? Cause I don't wanna die this way, and I don't wanna die in this place. I need your love, shower me with your grace for this beat.
Oh man, what do we have here? just a young man that's been struggling with the same sins for the past 10 years. Man, my sin problem's a bad sitcom. Lord, please put the show to an end. And this mud fight's been going on too long. It seems like I just can't win. Man, I've been stuck in this muck for a minute. I try to get out, but I fall right back in it. This pig pen is gross and it reeks in my sin. And when I'm in there, there's a lack of repentance. Satan like, come on man, why not just bathe in it? You know you really enjoying this fate you and you should be loving this food they grow bacon. And each time he speak, I'm like, there go that snake again. Yeah! Man, I can't keep falling for that same old trap. God ain't pulled me out of that crap just so I can turn around and go right back. Man, that swell merchant want me to slip back in so he can catch me while I'm down and out. But I ain't swimming in that slop no more, so he ain't never gonna catch me drowning out in that.
So that's where my sin. I dug a hole for myself. That's
Okay, I'm gonna start with Brother C right here because one of the we're hearing a lot that is really about to happen as far as them talking about repealing the Affordable Care Act. It sounds like they haven't really put out anything that looks like a alternative. We're just gonna go back to every man for themselves. How does this work? How does that work?
Well, let me just say this. Prior to 2009, millions of people in this country did not have health care coverage. Insurance companies, if you had a pre-existing condition, could deny you coverage. When you graduated from college, if you did not have a job, you had to come off your parents' health insurance. If you happen to gather a disease of some sort, whether it's cancer or breast cancer, whatever, what have you, prior to 2009, insurance companies were allowed to kick you off the insurance policy. They were allowed to raise your premiums. They were allowed to tell you no. Senior citizens were paying outrageous prices for drugs prior to 2009. A number of other things, and then along came the historic 44th President of the United States. His signature piece of legislation was the Affordable Care Act. Right. Republicans have demonized it and called it Obamacare. I'm so glad President Obama cared. He cared enough, and now millions of people, for the first time ever in the history of this country, have health care insurance. Right. Now, since 2009, the other party have ran on this notion of repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Fine, do it. They now have control of the House and the Senate. But one point on that, if they really wanted to, they could have done it this cycle, because guess what? They had control of the House and the Senate.
That's right.
They had enough votes to override the president's veto if he would have vetoed any type of repeal replace.
Right.
But it's all smokescreen. It's all smoking guns. It's all a propaganda pump, because you know what? It's working. If you ask the average person on the street, do you like the Affordable Care Act? They'll say yes. If you ask them if they like Obamacare, Cynthia,
oh hell no,
they'll say no. And it's all a propaganda point. Now, of course, Mr. Trump, he campaigned on the fact that he's going to repeal and replace Obamacare. Okay, the Electoral College spoke, not the American people, but the Electoral College spoke. Right. And so he may do that. But what are you going to do? What are you going to tell people like Jane Doe, who may have breast cancer, and insurance companies now cannot deny her health care coverage? What are you going to tell some little boy, let's just say in the inner cities, as Mr. Trump used his toned-down racial rhetoric? What are you going to tell some little boy who might find out, 20 years from now, he has some sort of disease that did not register when he was a younger kid, or because he didn't have access to health care? What do you tell him when the insurance company will say, now, guess what? Thanks to Mr. Trump, we're going to kick you off? What do you tell your grandmother, if she's still alive, or your grandfather, or so forth, that you know what? Doesn't matter what you make, it doesn't matter what your Social Security income is, we're going to regulate whatever drug price we want to make drugstore owners richer. What do you say to those people?
Yeah.
And that's the question that the Republicans will have to answer. That's the question that the American people who voted for Mr. Trump, they're going to have to look themselves in the face and say, you know what? Elections have consequences.
But you know what? I just don't think they're going to do anything with it in terms of repealing and replacing, because they'd have to expend too much political capital, because it's not that easy. If it was that easy, it would have been done by now. And especially with where we are with the medical industry itself and the prices and and how the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies, they're all leading us, and it's almost like they're holding us hostage.
And you know why that is, David? Because we have Republican governors in this country, like our current governor, Nikki Haley, who refuse to expand Medicaid in states like South Carolina. And guess what? So when Junebug or Ray Ray goes to the hospital and they perhaps make too much money to afford a subsidy but do not make enough to afford a health care plan, guess what? They fall into the coverage gap. So they can't afford it. And so what happened in South Carolina, a lot of states, when you hear the Republicans talk about insurance prices are rising out of the roof and so forth, you know why? Because people are sicker. They're sicker because they have no access to care. In South Carolina, 5, possibly 6 hospitals have closed in rural areas because, as the Republicans said from the State House floor, it's good politics to oppose the black man in the White House because they refuse to take our taxpayers' dollars that we are paying for to expand Medicaid to 300,000 working people. I'm not talking about people who just sitting there sucking up the government's dime. I'm talking about people who have jobs, working 2 or 3 jobs. There was a wonderful article in the Post and Courier last year where a young man who delivered pizzas for a living, worked in a bar, delivered pizzas for a living, literally died because he could not afford health care insurance. And what would have been the result, or what could have prevented that? Medicaid expansion.
All I need is you. 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 All I need is me for you for me. No matter how we toss the dice, we had to be. I'm singing out, me for you for me. No matter how we toss the dice, we had to be. I'm singing out. Pull me close to you, you ease my mind. Imagine how this world could be if we invest the time. Relationships important, so you gave your life. So all I need is you. You're my heart's desire. You're all I need to survive. And I wanna let you know, Lord, you know I love you and I will not let you go. Put my faith and trust in you, yes you are, I follow. You're the sun and the light when it shines, when the darkness gets too low. You're my everything. Me for you for me. No matter how we toss the dice, we had to be. I'm singing now, me for you and you for me. No matter how we toss the dice, we had to be. The only one for me was you for me. No matter how we toss the dice, we had to be. I'm singing now, me for you for me. No matter how you look at it, we was gonna have to be. I'm singing now. You're my heart's reviver. You're all I need to survive. And the Bible tells me so. It tells me that you love me and you will not let me go. The author of my faith, yes you are, yes I will follow. The heartbeat of my life and the reason why my blood flows and my everything. Me for you for me. No matter how we toss the dice, we have to be. I'm singing now, me for you and you for me. No matter how we toss the dice, we have to be. The only one for me is you for me. No matter how we toss the dice, we had to be. I'm singing now, me for you for me. No matter how you look at it, we was gonna have to be. I'm singing now.
We're going to take a break right here. Your commercial could be right here, but instead you're going to look at me. Advertising information is at the bottom of the screen. In the meantime.
I just wanted to add on that the misinformation about, you seen that nice commercial, the guy suited up saying it's only avoid the $695 penalty. It is way more to the matrix than that. It's $695 per adult. Then if you got 3 dependents, it's $347.50.
50 cents.
You know, and there's an 2.5% of your adjusted gross income. So if you're a trucker, you make $160,000. 2.5% of that. You know the government is going to take the greater. And Javis Tax Service, we serve about 20% of our clientele are self-employed 1099 contractors who have 6 figures. Yeah. And they say, hey, I'm not getting it. I'll take the penalty. I don't get sick. I go to doctor's care and pay them $100.
Right.
And then that's where we come in at. But if that rig go off the road, if that rig hit somebody else and kill somebody else's child, you need to have insurance. And I think just like they mandate us with car insurance,
it's the same thing.
It's the same concept.
It's the same thing. We live in a country of laws. We're gonna have to live by
it to be like that.
laws.
And we voted it to be like that.
Trust me when I tell you, government. Go ahead.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that. This is information. This is empowerment. We love it.
Pardon my Sunday school word a few minutes ago.
Hey,
feel free to think freely.
Feel free to think freely.
Yo, is this on? Hey, turn me up just a little bit. Yeah. I'm feeling that. Lord, deliver me. See, now I get reminded of little Timmy, his parents living together. He was only 6 years, but he's under a lot of pressure. His dad was beating his mom, he's always cursing her out. While little Timmy's right there in the house, he was looking. He gets older and start doing just what he saw. So now he's easily angered and real quick to the draw. Can't even hold a convo without just ticking him off. But little Timmy's still denying all his flaws. But he's married now, they never good, cause him and his wife, they always fighting. And they got in an argument and then it got ignited, cause Timmy started swinging and his nostrils started flaring. He was beating her and then started thinking about his parents. As he looked down at the blood on his fist, Timmy was shocked, and that's when he started to reminisce. So he was crying and looked down at what he did, and he put that gun right up under his chin, and that's when he said, Lord, I need you to deliver me. Your ways are not mine, so I need you to enter me. And I know I got a lot going on, but fully extend your arms down to me so I can hold on. And yeah, I done seen a lot of stuff though, but brush me off, my life's got a lot of scuff, so Lord, I need you to deliver me. I've been waiting by the door for your delivery. Second story's about Samantha, strange man pulling their pants up after they done had their way with her. It's crazy cause her mom was home, Samantha stayed with her. But her mom was a dope head, so at the time she just tried to make some extra bucks so she could snort it and shoot it up in the veins. But what remains are the stains of the pain sketched in her brain. See all these different dudes and none of them knew her name. Samantha was 10, so her mom was to blame. But as time progressed, Samantha just kept doing what she had did. By the age of 18, Samantha had 3 kids. She never finished school, she never knew what love meant, cause every time somebody came in the picture, they up and went. Her mom's dead too, so they had no place to stay. So Samantha and her 3 kids, they went on their way. And now Samantha, them living up in the shelter. She be crying, hug the kids close together, and that's when she prays. Lord, I need you to deliver me. Your ways are not mine, so I need you to enter me. And I know I got a lot going on, but fully extend your arms down to me so I can hold on. And yeah, I done seen a lot of stuff though, but brush me off, my life's got a lot of scuff, so Lord, I need you to deliver me. I've been waiting by the door for your delivery. See, now Brenda was only 13 with a hefty body shape though. No escape, go pops by whom she was raped, so she never knew her value, never knew her worth. She would call herself ugly, look in the mirror and she'd hurt. The kids at school would laugh and they would call her fat, but after time and after the crime she believed that. See, Brenda was done and she wanted to quit. Put that razor to her wrist, made a slit, watched the blood drip. And she heard of a man who been healing since he began. Took the gun from Timmy's chin, Samantha out of what she was in. And then she heard that he's still making deliveries. When the people cry, Lord, deliver me, see that's what he'll be. He'll put you on the potter's wheel and start molding you, shaping, rearranging you. See, he'll take out the old in you. He'll break loose the shackles that got a hold of you. And after he's done, whenever he's spun, he say, behold the new. That's what he says. See, I'm ready to deliver you. Your ways are
Lord deliver me. Will open up your heart for the delivery.
We're going to take a break right here. Your commercial could be right here, but instead you're going to look at me. Advertising information is at the bottom of the screen. In the meantime, before we go any further, I want to make sure we got to get this in here. Cynthia Hardy is here, and she has some things to share with us having to do with the Affordable Care Act and some things. Antjuan and everything like that. So explain to me, because I was at when we was at the luncheon. Jim explained the story, and I was like, okay, we got to have you on. You got to tell that story.
All right. Well, we're talking about my husband, Jim Hardy, and Jim is an entrepreneur. He's been an entrepreneur in the market for a while. His thing's graphic design, but he's always been in advertising and all of that. And so a couple years after we got married, Jim was diagnosed with diabetes. And so, he was managing his diabetes. His business grew and grew, and, he was, flying high. Things were really going very well. We had gotten to the point I left where I was working to go work for him. And he had 10 employees. And so the recession hit. And then the largest contract, a multi-million-dollar contract, we lost it. And so one of the first things that had to go, we had to let people go. When we let people go, then the insurance plan that we had changed. Okay? And so at the end, there were just 3 of us. And then there were 2. Well, they would only allow us to have that group policy if we had at least 3 people on it. Mm-hmm. So we didn't qualify anymore. So anyway, so Jim, so we didn't have that, so we had to get something else. We went to get something else, nobody would give him insurance because he had a pre-existing condition.
Yeah.
Nobody would give him insurance. And so during that particular time, you can imagine the stress that he had on it from everything going on in business. And, truth be told, he probably was sick then, not really saying anything even during that time. But anyway, he went a year without health insurance. I just happened to be sitting at a luncheon that I was emceeing next to a physician with a federally qualified health care center, y'all, over at the Eau Claire Cooperative Health Center.
Shouts out to Eau Claire.
Ada Stewart, and I told her I had a very close family member who had diabetes but was not managing it, and I was concerned. Anyway, she allowed him to go through the free medical clinic, and we were getting to that point, you all, when there wasn't going to be any additional service. They were doing all they could. He needed a specialist because his condition had worsened. By the time he got to her, blood pressure high, everything just way too high. Right. So anyway, it just so happened again, I was doing a live broadcast and had one of the guests on there, a guy named Anton Gunn, who at the time had gone to work for Health and Human Services under the Obama administration. And he and my husband are fraternity brothers. So I told Anton that I was worried about Jimmy because he was uninsured and had this problem. Anyway, long and short of it, Anton told him about the upcoming PCIP, which was the pre-existing condition insurance plan under the Affordable Care Act. He probably was one of the first in the country to get it, probably the first 500 to get it. The insurance is excellent. It's impeccable. Jim now has end-stage renal failure and has to go to dialysis 3 days a week and has recently been put on the transplant list.
Yay.
We really believe that he would have lost his life were it not for
ACA.
Well, first that free health clinics, the healthcare system, that system that we had in place. But the thing that you have to know about that, Antjuan, is that it can't be permanent. Not if you have something chronic. People can do as much as they can, but truth be told, the better insurance you have, the farther you can go in terms of getting treatment. I mean, people don't say it, but anybody that's been with a person that they love as they have gone through a serious condition and come to the end, you realize if I had more money, I could go a little longer. He could live a little longer.
You mean if you the have, you can have more. If you the have not, you can't have more? That makes sense.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because it's a testimony, of course, for the Affordable Care Act. But I also want people to think about the unforeseen, something that you don't see coming. Right. That slaps you upside your head and costs you $1 million. And you got to figure out how you're going to pay for that over the course of that time.
And David, you and I and a lot of others are, and Miss Javis too, are trying to help Uncle Jim, get his kidney done.
That's right.
For your listeners who are listening or watching, $5, $10, or whatever you can chip in to help, it will go a long way.
Absolutely. What's the website?
Well, go to his Facebook page at James Hardy, and it's probably on mine too. But this is a site that is set up by
National
Kidney Foundation and some of the support groups, and it's called Forward Giving, Give Forward.
Give Forward.
And it's for transplant funds. And the money raising is good, but bigger than that is the significance of raising the community's awareness around that condition. Because Kim Suber told us at the luncheon at my house the other day that 1 in 8 people are affected by kidney disease.
One of us.
They normally don't test us when we go get a physical, so now I'm gonna finna ask my doctor, did we test my kidneys?
And guess what? When we talked about earlier about taking care of our bodies, part of that is having regular checkups. And so we wouldn't need medications if we go to get regular checkups to check problems. But guess what? For a lot of us, going to have a regular checkup goes back for us not having health care coverage. Why? Because we couldn't afford it and we didn't have to have it. If you don't have to have something, then you won't use it, right? But if you know you have to have it, you're going to use it, right? So regular checkups needs to be a priority for our community if we want to prevent certain things from happening, so we won't have to take the medicine.
Yes, sir. You've had a chance once again to enjoy us and us to enjoy y'all. This has been the best of Freethinkers Radio. Remember, follow us on all social media outlets. For advertising, you got the information at the bottom of the screen. For artists, your music videos, your songs, submit them. The information at the bottom of the screen. Also, you can subscribe to the Freethinkers Radio podcast. We've got Freethinkers Radio, we've got Urban City Radio, we've got I'm Just Saying Dre, we've got Generate Thinkers, and a host of others. Look us up on iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, SoundCloud, all social media outlets. Matter of fact, we out.